Welcome, everybody, to the No Notes podcast. Well, tentatively, the No Notes podcast, where three guys claim to know what they're talking about involving sports, but in all honesty, only one person knows what they're talking about and two people don't. So, and that one person is indeed Sam. So,
What?
just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay.
What? That's a lie.
Okay.
Sam knows what he's talking about. Matt and I don't. But yeah, I'm H double,
Barely
and
know.
alongside me we got MattyB per usual, and then we got Same Cookie, the new kid on the block. You met him last episode. You guys want to say hello?
Hello.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be here again. Obviously, Sam is not because of his introduction. So,
I'm not. Yeah, sorry. I'm
I
not.
blame the weather, man. It's stormy out. I don't blame him. We still,
Yeah.
we're in the same complex. It's real stormy out. Hopefully the power doesn't cut out on us. So we're just gonna have to hope that goes. But you might hear some thunder. That's all I'm saying.
It's pretty muggy out, so it might
Yeah.
bring our mood down.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm ready to go. Honestly, I'm fired up.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about. We decided we wanted to make this. Well, Sam decided. I'm going to throw you under the bus. Sam decided to make this an NFL episode, although he tried to change it today last minute, which was kind of funny. But
Yeah.
I called you out on that. But Sam wants to make this an NFL episode. So we've got some things we want to cover today about the offseason. There's been a lot of obviously changes going on. We didn't really talk about the NFL besides Lamar Jackson last episode. So we wanted to make this an NFL themed episode. And also, if you remember, after we go through some of the things we want to talk about, Matt has his betting little special surprise that he's going to lead us through. No clue. Sam and I have no idea what he's planning in terms of what we're going to necessarily, we know we're betting on NFL stuff, we think, but honestly, he could have just been leading us down, he could have just been saying that just to mess with us. So who knows? But yeah, so it'll be a fun episode today. I'm excited.
Matt says he got his iPad ready to do his all sorts of research.
Yeah.
oh, don't even worry. I got you, boys. Don't worry.
There's going to be a lot of like lingo and fancy stuff pulled out. It'll be a good ride.
Well,
Don't worry. I can't wait to see the glaze over look Sam's gonna give me of what the freak.
I can't wait to hear Sam talk because obviously he knows what he's talking about. So
that's true. Sam.
Yeah, I'm
Sam
excited
does know
to hear
most
what
about
Sam
all
has to
this.
say.
That's true.
Yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna first. We wanted to touch up. Sam brought up this prompt to us. He wanted us to give us our most impactful deal of the NFL offseason or biggest deal. You said biggest / most impactful.
Yeah.
Same thing. So yeah, who do you want to go first, Sam?
Yeah. Well, before we go first, it was a pretty open question when I brought the offer up because obviously NFL offseason isn't over. It's not going
That is true.
anytime soon. We're still waiting for a lot of people to sign, like Lamar and Aaron Rodgers and a few higher known players like that. But there's still a lot of NFL stuff that's gone on lately.
Yeah.
But I'll let you start first, Charles. I want
You sure?
For this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I figured you guys are probably gonna, when you see this question or what Sam brought up, you're probably thinking impact in terms of like what's like a good impact. But I figured I'd switch it up and I want to give you an impact that I think is negatively on the negative side. Yeah, I want to switch it up a little bit. I thought to myself, let's do that. So it was honestly kind of difficult. I didn't disagree with too many contracts, but the one that stood out that I think is the most impactful in the wrong way. You ready for this? I think Jimmy G going to the Raiders is
really
what I can think of as the worst, biggest, because I honestly, my opinion, the worst contract is like the Lions letting Jamal Williams go to sign David Montgomery. I don't know. Not the biggest fan of that. But most impact, I went with a quarterback. I went with Jimmy G. And I say that because I don't really like the Saints signing Derek Carr either, but I know obviously they're both veterans, so it's obviously understandable that you sign a proven veteran. But with the Saints excuse, they had Andy Dalton last year, and they've kind of since Drew Brees retired, they haven't really had a set quarterback, so Derek Carr makes more sense. But the Raiders are moving on from Derek Carr to Jimmy G. I don't really see a big upgrade there. I don't see a Super Bowl there. I don't know. I just thought the Raiders should. I know they just traded for Devontae and obviously didn't work. I thought, and my boss agrees with me, Raiders fan, they should have rebuilt, to be honest, and drafted a quarterback. and just start it over. But it looks like they're going to try and go for Jimmy G. I was thinking maybe a 1 year, 2 year veteran gap deal for Jimmy G, draft a guy, but he's 3 year contract. I don't know. Not a fan. I don't really see the promise in that. So I don't think the Raiders are really going to go much further. I mean, I think Jimmy G and Derek Carr, they're like arguing who's better is like, that's kind of difficult. They're pretty similar, I would say. I just don't really see the upside. So that's my impact deal. So yeah.
That's pretty fair. There's a valid reasons, definitely. As much as I want the podcast to be, I want to argue with you about it.
Really?
I also don't. Yeah, I want to argue with you a little bit about it, but I don't see any like upside with signing a guy like Jimmy G. He's been pretty injury prone the last couple of years too, and it's just been awful.
I think we're kind of pulling some strings with Matt right there. He's a Jimmy G guy.
Is he really?
I would like to say I think it's actually not as negative as Charles makes out to be. Yes.
I don't think it
should have been a
3 year.
Do I think it should have been a 3 year contract? No. However, the reason why it was brought in is because Josh McDaniels is the one who's the coach there. And that is who Jimmy G got his start under with Tom Brady. So he knows the system. And when you look at it, Jimmy G actually is a better quarterback than most people give him credit for. Yes, he does have injury problems, and that's something that is a concern, like 100% for sure. But when he's on the field, he wins. And I think at a certain point, I think that's what Raiders fans needs is, hey, I mean, look at I think he's only lost like once or twice in the fourth quarter after having a lead. Granted, one of those was Super Bowl against the Chiefs,
we need him to win that one.
Yeah, which is not great for people who aren't Chiefs fans, But I mean, other than that, I mean, he's been really good. So in terms of like a contract wise, I think I agree with Charles. But when it comes to system fit and player wise, I disagree.
Respectfully, yeah. No, I'm definitely not trying to shade Jimmy G. I actually think he's a little more hated on. But compared to what you had, I mean, yes, the system's better. I think he could get more wins, but I just don't see the real upside, championship upside. Let's put it like that. So,
yeah, I mean, I like what you said. Like, I'm not gonna say like it wasn't bad. I'm just saying from my perspective, that's how that's how I view it. So
you're lucky. I almost went with Juju to the Patriots as my bad deal. So, but I decided not to. I decided not to.
Well, I don't know.
Boo-boo.
Yeah, sorry, boo-boo.
You can make an argument for Juju to the Patriots. It sucks seeing a really good receiver on the Chiefs go. A lot of people were giving Juju crap before he signed with the Chiefs last offseason, but he actually did really well with us. And I mean, he balled out in the playoffs too. So go get that bag, I guess. The Patriots paid him pretty well. And he said he wanted to play with Mac Jones, but I would also agree Mac Jones is in that tier of like.
I think he meant Bailey Zappi.
No.
Their offense was better with them.
I don't think Bailey Zappi's coming back to start any game soon, but I would put Mac Jones and Jimmy G along with that tier of kind of like bland white bread will win you meaningless games, but won't actually win championships. I'm sorry, Matt, but I have some hot takes to put out.
Holy shit!
I would put Derek Carr on that list too. Like,
oh my goodness.
If I were an NFL GM, I would go big or go home. I would either, like Charles's boss said, just completely blow up the team and try to draft a good QB, or pay the big bucks for a guy like Russ,
Lamar,
Aaron Rodgers, or maybe even Lamar.
I don't know. I don't know why no one wants to.
Yeah, not the craziest thing. So that's what I would do, though.
Well, we got to go back to your original question.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, that's true.
What is Matt's biggest impact deal? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make this quick because this is a good segment. But we definitely time wise, But for me, when it comes to my signing, I know I'm gonna be a homer for this, but impactful. I like Jamal Williams, the Saints. 3 years, $12 million, so very cheap contract.
18, I believe.
Is it 18? No,
I think it's 18.
So 3 for 18, and still very cheap, $6 million, whatever. With what Alvin Kamara is going through right now, who knows if he plays? So we have no idea. But Jamal just set franchise record, right, for touchdowns in the season. I think for the Lions. which is passing Barry Sanders, and we all like to think he's a Hall of Famer because he is. Like that's pretty cool. And just the energy he brings, like I feel like that's a culture changer. And then with him and Derek Carr, I think that's a very low-key underrated backfield that could be
Yeah.
very good. So that for me, that was probably the most impactful. Like I would love Jamal in New England.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. But
You just literally the opposite of what I just said. I thought the worst thing was the Lions letting him go. They signed Dave Montgomery for like the same money, and I really don't. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. You already know my thoughts. So
Yeah, if I was a Saints fan, I'd be really happy to sign a guy like Jamal Williams. He had a career year, and like you said, comparing to Barry Sanders breaking his touchdown record in a season, that's amazing. I would be crushed though if I were a Lions fan and see that we'd have like an ultimate prospect like that, breaking records, having the ultimate personality, loving himself as like
yeah,
an
seriously.
otaku, and just dropping him after one season.
Hey, Autumn is not happy. So yeah, you're
Yeah,
covered there, Sam. Don't worry.
yeah, Autumn.
gotta represent for the BYU gang, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Hashtag Jamal Williams.
unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, Autumn's a Lions fan, so she doesn't get to experience much happiness, unfortunately.
Oof.
My
Not a lot of
gosh.
exciting moments as a Lions fan.
Sam's just going after everyone today, bro.
I don't know. It might be the weather, dude. Might be the weather making me go off, but um I'll make it quick since we're on a time constraint too, like last episode. Hopefully you guys don't think I'm cheating a little bit, but my
Cheating.
exact well no, hear me out though. My exact thought for my answer to this question would have been Sean Payton, the head coaching hire for the Broncos. I thought it was an amazing hire.
Yeah.
It's a team friendly deal. You probably couldn't have signed anyone else that would be a better impact for all of the players. And a guy like Russ definitely needs it for as terrible of like a first year with the Broncos he had. A lot of people are blaming the head coach Nathaniel Hackett. He was an absolute hoax. I'm hoping for that to be true. He's a really talented guy. I honestly like Lamar. They both have a lot of talent to them. They're both really good players, and
Yeah.
hopefully, I think Sean Payton would be the one guy to help the team up and actually perform well. So
I like that answer, Sam. I like it.
Same. I was thinking coach, but that's a good one. I like
That
it.
is a good one.
yeah,
I was thinking about it because time is an issue this episode too. It might have to make that our potential new name. That's all I'm saying. Late, I don't know, something with how we can't stay on time.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we kind of just talked about with my discussion on Sam's prompt. We talked about Jimmy G and Derek Carr. And so that leads into my what I wanted to bring up. And since there's obviously been some quarterback change, not as crazy as the past couple of years, especially last year, but we've had some change, of course. We have, at least in terms of the big names, we're not going to name the Sam Darnolds in this exercise. Sorry, Sam Darnold or Taylor Heineke. But anyways, Baker Mayfield, Jimmy G, Derek Carr, and Aaron Rodgers, assuming he gets traded, are the four I wanted to bring up. And asking real quick though, first question is, when I asked this, was Aaron Rodgers the easy answer for you two?
I thought Aaron Rodgers was the odd one out.
Okay, well then that's all I need to hear. We're eliminating him. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if anyone would have a take of like Aaron Rodgers now. Anyways, Jimmy G, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield. So Jimmy G on the Raiders, Derek Carr on the Saints, and Baker Mayfield on the Bucks. Who's going to have the better or the best season of those three this upcoming year? Matt, you first.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna go with I'm taking Jimmy G. Oh golly, those are all. You know what? I'm gonna go with my guy. I'm gonna go with Jimmy G.
Okay.
That's who I'm gonna go with. He's been a winner. I like Derek Carr. I just don't think the Saints have enough weapons around him. They have Jamal, whatever, but not really any receivers other than Michael Thomas, and he's been hurt.
I mean, Chris Olave
Baker
is pretty
Mayfield.
nice.
Yeah, Chris Olave is nice. You're right. I forgot about him. But yeah, so those two. Then you have in Buccaneers, you have Godwin, Evans, who are good. I worry about accuracy with Baker Mayfield, so that's why I'm not picking him. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Jimmy G. You have Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow still there. You have Josh Jacobs. You have a decent O line. Your coach that you know is there in that system. So I'm gonna go with Jimmy G. Now, do I think all those teams are gonna finish front under 500? Probably. Maybe the Raiders are one game above 500, but I'm gonna go Jimmy G for mine.
Sam?
I would have to agree with Matt. I definitely, when this question was brought up to us, I definitely thought of Aaron Rodgers, but that's
Mhm.
only because of like an upside thing. Aaron Rodgers has proven like as much as he could prove. He's been in the league for ridiculous amount of time, but he's a two-time MVP. He's really good, but I would have to agree with Matt though with Jimmy G. He has a ton of weapons with them starting out of the gate. He's definitely proven himself to be like a winner when he needs it, except for the Super Bowl. But we don't talk about that. But yeah, no, I can't really see Baker Mayfield doing it after like the first couple of years with the Browns. He kind of fizzled out. But yeah, same with Derek Carr. I'm a huge Chiefs fan, so I've seen Derek Carr play a lot, being in the AFC West with us, and he hasn't really like wowed me any time I've seen him play. He kind of just does bare minimum that he needs. He doesn't really ever seem to win close games unless it's from like his defense, not even from him. But I think Jimmy G is definitely the most proven quarterback in that list.
Well,
Just
okay.
to, I agree with Sam on Jimmy G, of course, but I do have to disagree with him about Derek Carr not winning games and stuff. Just because the reason why I say this, I do understand what you're saying, Sam. I disagree because Derek Carr has a lot of fourth quarter drives. Granted, does he get himself into those situations? I would say yes, absolutely. He throws a lot of interceptions, but he does throw a lot of yards and he does make some throws that I'm like, what the heck? So I agree. He does get himself in a situation and his defense does have to bail him out. But on the flip side, when he has to deliver for a team, usually he does. And I do have to say, Derek Carr kind of has, out of that whole division, Derek Carr kind of has been your kryptonite as a Chiefs fan. So
Mm,
I think he should get a little respect. A little respect.
I guess that is true. Yeah, he does get a little respect. I can only think
Just
of
a
one
little.
time. I can only think of one time where he beat us with Crabtree balling out. But
Should be
I
this
mean,
year, honestly, in that one game,
well,
but we don't have time about that.
if you're an AFC West rival playing against the Chiefs, there's something crazy. They have a crazy record against Mahomes. They're like 3-28 against him as a division. It's honestly ridiculous.
They're
And
just they're just letting the
that
Chiefs win.
yeah, that one win came from freaking Crabtree catching the same touchdown like 5 times over. If I had like a little replay like booth that I could show you, I want to show that play. Um, this was like 2017, I think, but they kept calling a foul in the end zone from catching a touchdown pass for
Oh
Crabtree.
yeah, I
They
remember
kept
that
calling it
game.
back and back. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous to watch, but
I
yeah.
remember the Mike Williams 2 point conversion game and the Chargers beat you. I do
Oh
remember
my
that
gosh.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
that was
forgot about that
Philip
one.
Rivers, man. That
Yeah.
they've charged a good record that year.
Yeah,
But
that was a crazy game to watch too. That and the Rams game. And
yeah,
Yeah, the
oh
Monday Night
yeah,
Football one.
yeah, yeah.
yes, but yeah, that game against the Rams you can't even forget. They scored like
Yeah.
120 combined points. It's crazy.
When Jared Goff, Tyreek Hill got me like 70 fantasy points, and I came back
Yeah,
and won
yeah, I
because of those
remember.
two. All right,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyways, so I'm sorry I have to do this to you guys, but while Jimmy G may seem like the logical answer, it's the wrong answer because
Tell me who the right answer is then.
it's Derek Carr.
Oh my
I was
god,
gonna say Baker Mayfield, but no.
you guys love Derek Carr.
Okay, no, I mean being serious, I think you guys think GG is definitely logical and reasonable for sure. I just like I honestly it's almost like because like you guys talked about, Jimmy G is definitely gonna be in that tough division. Because I do think, we'll get to this later. I'll talk about that later. But I just almost want to get like almost auto give it to Derek Carr because I think they should definitely win the division, and I think they can win 10 games. To be honest, it's not going to be that hard of a schedule, and I do
It's
like
true.
Derek Carr when odds are against him, kind of like a season ago when the whole Henry Ruggs thing happened, the John Gruden thing, emos happened. all this bad stuff, and that was like his best maybe season of his career, or definitely one of his top. And so I feel like this season is going to be one of those ones where he's really good, and then he'll kind of fizzle out after that. So that's why I'm going Derek Carr. But if Jimmy G has a better season, I wouldn't be shocked. So that's all I'll say. But I just think Derek Carr's gonna have a fire under him. They should win the division, win 10 games probably, because that division's really bad this year. Or it's gonna be pretty bad, I feel like. I don't know, Panthers could be nice, but it depends on how the rookie does that they're gonna draft. But yeah. So yeah, that's how I'm going Derek Carr.
Maybe they probably will make the playoffs.
They should win the division. I mean, they're the best team as of right now, definitely.
Yeah.
Unless Baker can duel them out for whoever wins the NFC South is gonna have the best season.
Oh, sorry. No, keep going, Sam. Keep going, Sam.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say anything besides you guys have broken promises with Baker. I don't think he's gonna do anything at all next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I was more of a fan last year. I don't know about this year.
He definitely like balled out for like the 2 games that he played. He's definitely fun to watch, but he's just not that great of a QB, I don't think.
He just sucks.
Right.
That's what he's saying.
He just sucks, yeah. I'm being brash about it, but he just sucks.
Fair point. And considering we're talking about different teams, we should move on to our next topic because I think that one will be a good one. It's which let's see, what did Sam? I think this was Sam's topic. Sam, you had some good topics. It was biggest improvement based off season, and now this counts for trades, signings, etc. So it looks like, let's see, I think Charles started off with the first one. I started off the second. So let's go with you, Sam. Based off the offseason, which team improved the most in your eyes?
I like how you're reading the topic to him when it was his topic. I like that.
Right,
I don't know why.
Right.
Hey.
No, that's funny.
Hey man, get the job
done.
done.
I wanted to read a topic.
Yeah,
there we go.
The group. I'm happy. Also, I
wanted to be included. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, I hope you like my topics. I do like Sam's too, but his were kind of general, so maybe a little. Hopefully you like mine. That's
Whoa! I like your fourth one. I think your fourth one is very.
I'm excited for that one.
I think it's very juicy. So, but we'll stick to this one.
Juicy.
So, Sam.
It's a very juicy
Sam.
topic.
Which team or teams?
Oh yeah, I was really excited to ask a question like that because a lot of teams go through my mind thinking about it. Hopefully, they probably are the obvious answers, but if I were to pick 2 teams, it would be the Jags and the Jets. It barely qualifies, I think, too, for the most improved team that's going to happen next year because they both did pretty solid last season compared to the season beforehand where they both sucked. Especially the Jags, they hired Urban Meyer. Like, what was their deal with that? But yeah, no, I think Calvin Ridley is the ultimate sleeper pick for the Jags.
That's yeah.
They couldn't have ended their.
That's a good one.
They couldn't have ended their season on a higher note, even though they did lose to the Chiefs.
The Chad Henne-led Chiefs.
What?
The Chad Henne-led Chiefs.
Oh yeah. They actually lost to Chad Henne.
I just have to say that.
I mean, the Jags did come back though. It was a good game.
Yeah, it was a really good game. Yeah, but no, really excited to see the Jags play. Last season they absolutely balled out. Trevor Lawrence is growing into the number 1 overall pick that he was destined to be, which is good to see. The Jets were amazing. They were amazing last year. Absolutely blew away the draft, picking up the best cornerback and debatably the best wide receiver, best rookie cornerback and receiver. But yeah, no, they just actually picked up a Cole Hardman from the Chiefs. It actually makes me really sad because he's a really good wide receiver and he's still young. I believe he's still 22. But the Chiefs just drafted him and it's sad to see him let go. But I'm super excited to see how they perform. They definitely need a new QB though. They cannot keep Zach Wilson. They have to move on from him and actually get someone real. Please, Aaron Rodgers or Lamar.
I know Matt and I are kind of Zach Wilson supporters, or at least we were last year. Hey, all I'm gonna say is I know obviously after that Patriots game, which was terrible, decided to bench him. I think that's when the season went downhill. If they kept him in, they would have made the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
No way.
He was like 7-3 or whatever.
There's
Or I forgot what
definitely
he was.
there's definitely a little bit of bias because Zach Wilson is a BYU product. But, he's absolute toxicity.
No, yeah,
There's that article
It wasn't good.
on a reporter asking Zach Wilson if they signed a veteran QB, I believe, in the offseason. And Zach responded like, I'm gonna give him hell every week during practice if we sign a veteran QB. I'm gonna be the absolute worst like backup QB there is. I was like, what are you doing, man?
I don't know if he meant like that, but yeah. Anyways, enough of Zach Wilson. He's not really worth talking about.
Yeah, okay. So you agree with me. He's
Yeah.
not worth talking about.
Should I go next, Matt?
Yeah, you go next
all
because
right.
I have a team that hopefully no one says, but
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off Sam off the first topic? Yes, off your first topic that we talked about. And so that's why I didn't say much about it, because I'm gonna for this, who I think is gonna make the biggest improvement. For me, it's almost, I mean, there's two teams. I like the Bears just because they lost so many games. And they added a lot in free agency. Obviously, the DJ Moore trade too. But I'm gonna go with the Broncos. That team is really, really good. And they're way better than on paper. They're way better than the record showed last year. And they made a couple signings, you know. They got an lineman from the Niners who was pretty good. And obviously, like Sam, you mentioned the biggest deal or impact is Sean Payton. And I agree with you in that sense. And that's why I'm picking him to have the biggest improvement this year. So if I think Sean Payton can get something out of Russ, I think they can definitely have a huge lead because they won 5 games. I think they could definitely win double.
I think they were 4-13.
They can win double. They can get double-digit wins with that team. I really do think so. I mean, they've got a great team. So I'm going Broncos. I think Sean Payton can figure it out. I believe in him. So yeah.
You believe in him?
Yeah.
It's always good.
Nice. So for me, one of my teams was the Jags. I like that pick, Sam. I like how all of our teams have been AFC, and I'm still gonna choose AFC because I feel like the NFC is losing a lot of talent, I think. But when my sleeper team is actually in the division that the Patriots are in, and it's not the Jets, and it's not the Bills, it's the Dolphins.
It's the Dolphins. Okay.
And I like the Dolphins. I like how they made a trade for Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Now, to have him opposite Xavier Howard, I think is going to be really nice. And then I think it almost like, I think having Aaron Rodgers in that division, because, hasn't been traded yet, but probably will. Having Aaron Rodgers with the Jets and Josh Allen in that same division, so you play them 4 times a year, having 2 corners that can pretty much defend anyone, Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard, I think is amazing. Like, it's almost like that move makes even more sense now than when it did. Like, when I saw the Dolphins were trading for Jalen Ramsey, I was like, okay, I guess they're going for it, but they already have a decent defense. What's kind of going on? And then you hear Aaron Rodgers trying to go there, and the Jets have just gotten Alan Lazard and, some of these other players, and you're like, oh, shoot, that actually makes sense. And so to me, I think the Dolphins, maybe they might win 1 or 2 more games, but I think they actually look better on paper and will do better. Maybe not game-wise, compared to the Bears, like you said, Charles, or, some of these other teams, but I think they're better.
I like it. Well, I mean, it's tough because obviously Tua being healthy is going to determine all of that. So,
and I don't know what other moves are going to be made, in the draft, because Miami does have some draft stuff, right, and all this other stuff. But I mean, I'm basing this off of if everyone is healthy. Granted, we know everyone's not going to be healthy. The thing is maybe later on, I know there's been rumors that Cooper Kupp might be getting traded because the Rams are kind of rebuilding. If he gets traded somewhere, whatever team gets him, that might be the new team to beat, right?
Ravens,
so
please sign Lamar.
That's not happening. That's not happening. But I don't know. For me, the Dolphins just seem like a really good choice as of right now.
Yeah, I like it. You guys went with teams that are a little more proven. Proven, which I definitely, because the Jags are such a good pick because they are Super Bowl contenders. So I like that. I like that pick. I like both your picks. I don't have anything negative to say about them. So
No negativity.
no negativity.
No negativity.
I might have some negativity with our last NFL thing we wanted to talk about.
Oh, our last.
What is
topic.
our last topic, Sam?
Oh well, Charles picked this one out.
Oh yeah,
I feel like he cherry picked this one. I don't
cherry
know
picked.
but
I feel like this was a straight up like you weren't expecting this. Like this is a unique one.
oh, I definitely wasn't. When you brought.
This is like this ain't a cherry pick. This is like a 2-on-1 full court. They're trapping me, and I break away, and I pull up, step back three, and I nail it.
Jump fade.
This ain't a cherry pick.
So
you keep going.
the Chiefs signed Jawaan Taylor and let Orlando Brown walk in free agency. Was this a good move by the Chiefs?
Was this a good move by the Chiefs?
Was this a good move? That's my report.
Who did Jawaan Taylor play for? It was the 49ers?
The Jags.
No.
The Jags.
Jags. Okay, yeah.
Jags, yep.
So wait, what'd you say, Sam? Sorry, I was.
Oh, I said I'll let you start, Charles.
Me?
Yeah, I'll
sure.
let you brought it up. I'll let you start.
Well, if you can't respond to this, I wouldn't be shocked. No. Okay, so
I'm lost for words.
Obviously, so something that Sam and I always kind of laugh about / bond over almost in a way is like Orlando Brown, because we'd always talk about when we watch Chiefs games, we'd always talk about him and be like, man, he got beat again, blah, blah, blah. So we'd always be like, because obviously the Ravens had him originally. We had him originally. We traded him. We got a first-round pick from the Chiefs, and Sam's always like, oh, why did we trade for him? He sucks. And so it was always really funny. And, obviously the Chiefs weren't obviously too high on him for what he wanted. So he obviously went to the Bengals, AFC rival. But the more I looked into it, to be honest, the more I kind of was questioning the Chiefs' decision-making here. So I actually do not think this was a good move by the Chiefs prior to what you probably thought, Sam. I actually think this was a bad move, and the Chiefs might be crumbling before our eyes already. Is that what we're getting here? This move kind of shows me that. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
So yes, I think Orlando Brown I know he made all pro and stuff, and I think Mahomes made him look a little better than he was. Because I did notice when he would get beat a lot, Mahomes would just kind of naturally evade the left side, his blind side, because that's kind of what he does, and this, that's who Mahomes is. He always kind of moves. So I feel like it made Orlando Brown look a little better than he was. But you can't deny that he's got definitely some talent, and left tackle is very important, for protecting your quarterback. And so obviously the Chiefs didn't agree with him. They signed Jawaan Taylor, 4 years, $80 million, $60 million guaranteed, right? But here's the thing. I know that they believe he can be left tackle, but he was a right tackle before, and you got to switch him over. And that's not necessarily super easy. That's an adjustment period if they do switch him over, right? And to be honest, he wasn't even that great last year. His PFF grade, which is what I use to determine this because I don't know alignment that well, was 58.7. I trust PFF enough to at least help me with an argument like this. 58.7. Orlando Brown, he agrees to 4 years, $64 million, with how much guaranteed? $43 million. He's getting $16 million less than what the Chiefs paid Jawaan Taylor, which I really don't understand. And his PFF grade was a 75.8. Now, obviously, I think it might be a little better because of Mahomes, but what are the Chiefs doing? Truly, why would they just keep Orlando Brown? They already have the chemistry. He's a left tackle. They signed a right tackle for more money, who they think can switch to left tackle, who honestly hasn't proven as much as Orlando Brown, because Orlando Brown has at least made all pro, and he's graded better by, PFF, which is pretty reliable. Whose phone is that, by the way?
That's my phone.
Damn. You're trying to ruin my.
Trying to distract you.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. So what did I think that I honestly don't get it after looking at it. Like, why they signed this guy for more money? Why didn't they just keep Orlando Brown if that's what? Unless maybe he got less than what he wanted, which could very well be the case. But still, I don't know. 16 million less what they signed this guy for. I don't get it. Chiefs might be crumbling their first mistake.
No, bro. There's no way they're crumbling.
And the Broncos rise. What? Broncos country.
The Broncos rise. Same with the Raiders, Jimmy G.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam. I know you want to talk, so you can go next.
I don't want to make bold assumptions, but Orlando Brown was absolutely the last tackle that we needed to worry about. he definitely his PFF his PFF grade was definitely a little bloated because of
Okay.
the rest of the O line around him. We did not need to keep him for the amount of money that he was wanting. Granted, we did sign Jawaan Taylor for a
For
lot
more.
more than Orlando Brown ended up signing for, and we also gave him a ton of guaranteed money. But I think it's a lot of a better deal for the Chiefs to walk away from Orlando Brown. I don't think anyone on the Chiefs liked Orlando Brown. He's only good because he's big. He's 6'8". Not a lot of people are 6'8", but I have beliefs in Jawaan Taylor. I haven't dug into it too deep. Oh, that is a lot of money to sign him for a left tackle, 4 years, 80 million, 4 year, $80 million.
Right tackle. Right.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But
Just saying.
just saying, just trying to make that point. But no, I mean, I like the pick.
So you don't care really.
Not well.
I don't blame you.
It'll
You do
make
have
me look.
Mahomes
It'll make me
still,
look kind of dumb if I say yes, but pretty much. There wasn't a lot of like high hopes with Orlando Brown. I think the whole fan base was angry at him because he basically was a turnstile for Patrick Mahomes, and like you said, that's kind of more his blind spot to where where the tackles need to more focus on that left side to not get Mahomes blown up. I don't think Orlando Brown was doing a good job at that. Most of the sacks that the Chiefs allowed last season were on that left side, and they were mainly because of Orlando Brown.
do you have the stats for me on that so you can prove it?
I can't say I have the stats, but I do
Nah,
have my brain.
I'm messing with you.
Oh, I know you're messing with me, but Orlando Brown is definitely replaceable. He was not that great.
I mean, I don't disagree, but like I said, with the move they made to replace him didn't make much sense to me. I will give you this though. You brought up a good point. The whole potential team chemistry thing with him, I think that's a very valid point. We don't know how much truth there is to that, but I think that's very valid. So I will give you that.
He also did say last year would be his prove it year. Granted, he did
Proved it.
well, he technically he proved it. He was behind Patrick Mahomes. He had like Creek Humphrey and Andrew Wiley next to him, though. I mean, everyone else called out and kind of lifted him up with him. He only got All Pro because he's just on the Chiefs team, you know.
Well, why didn't like the guards get All Pro or like Wiley get All Pro? Why'd he get it?
I don't think that's a question I can even answer, but I don't know. It was definitely questionable for him to be All Pro in the first place. He quoted that last year would be such an improvement of a good like football year because the year before that he was pretty terrible, and the truth came out that he was a heavy drinker. He quoted, I believe, on Twitter that he would stop drinking in hopes that his performance would be better. He got everyone's hopes high, like really high for the upcoming season.
His performance was better. I don't really know what you're talking
His
about. To be
performance
honest,
was better, but it's not that great for Chiefs standards, you know. Like
you won the Super Bowl. I don't know what
you're playing on a
won.
Super Bowl level team. That's like
I don't know. You guys won the Super Bowl. I'd say that's pretty good enough standard.
That is true. That's like putting me on the team and like expecting me to do everything, even though I did nothing and everyone else did just so good around me.
Hey, left tackle is the most important position for O-line. That's all I'm saying. Look,
it is a good
when Orlando Brown I know sometimes he gets beat good, solid chunk, but when he gets on someone, they don't get by him. That's all I'm saying because he's so big. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Chiefs, like I said, I think the crumbles are apparent.
It's not a crumbling.
They have all this cap room and all these picks, and this is how they're going to do it.
Jawaan Taylor is great still. They have a bunch of picks too. They can do.
They let Rojo go, really?
They still have cap space. They can do what they want. But
I don't know, man. Like I can't talk. You've won 2 Super Bowls already.
Yeah, we've won 2 Super Bowls
in 4 years, so that's pretty good. We've been to 3.
Yeah, out with the old, in with the new. Who have we drafted? Creed Humphrey, Mahomes himself. I'm
nitpicking at the smallest thing right now. Hey, if Mahomes gets blindside sacked and gets hurt this year, Remember this
It'll be
conversation.
because of Jawaan Taylor.
Yeah, remember this conversation.
I don't think.
And when
it'll
Joe
be-
Burrow wins the Super Bowl because
I don't
Orlando
know.
Brown protects him so well on his blind
I
side,
think-
remember this conversation.
I think I can trust Brett Veach in making a move like this. He's only.
We allocated the whole time, and Matt hasn't said a single word. We
Matt
probably
is
allocated
just
overtime.
flabbergasted,
This is
man. He
fun.
just been flabbergasted.
Yeah, Matt, here, give us your little take on this. You only have like 1 minute.
Let's hear it.
I have like 0 minutes, but it's okay. So, my rule thought, I think the Chiefs paid way too much money for a right tackle to shift him over to left tackle. That's my honest opinion. Do I think the Chiefs lost in this deal? Yes. The reason why I say that is because Orlando Brown walked to an AFC opponent who will beat them in the AFC Championship game this year.
Well, no, they're
In
not
the
into the
in the
AFC
Bengals.
Championship game. The
just
streak
saying-
ends
Oh.
next year.
I'm just
Oh.
saying if they do get there, the Bengals are winning because they actually have protection now.
Ooh.
Burrow. So with that
I don't
being
know
said,
about that one.
Yeah, you
with
lost
that
Andrew
being
Wiley
said-
too. Ouch.
We did lose Andrew Wiley. That sucks.
All right, sorry, Matt.
with that being said, with the last like basically 5 minutes we have,
You know, it's not
Um,
as bad as last time. So
no, not as bad as last time. Let's go into the sports betting. How's that sound for people?
yeah,
Okay.
it sounds great to
So-
me. I'm excited.
Good change of pace.
So for sports betting, for those of us who don't know, okay, basically how it works is you have basically in almost like a plus or minus odds. So let's say you're minus 150, it means you have to bet $150 to win 100. Whereas if you're at plus 100 or like let's say plus 120, you bet 100 and you win 120. Does that make sense for people?
So, real quick, just if it's minus 150 and you bet 150, but you only get 100 back, what's the point in that? What's the value there?
Okay, so here are you ready? So here's a hypothetical example.
Yeah.
At FanDuel Sportsbook, Buffalo Bills QB Josh Allen is the favorite. That is, he has the lowest odds to win the NFL MVP at plus 700 odds, so 7-1.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Derrick Henry has plus 7,500 odds. If you bet $10 on Allen, you could win $70. And if you bet $5 on Henry, you could collect 375. Right?
So it's a bunch of it's multiplication to translate that, which I can't do right now. So
Yeah, pretty much. But the reason why they have the minus is so that way, like, so here's an example. So an example is, let's see here.
not sponsored
And
by
the-
FanDuel.
Yeah.
Not yet.
In the AFC West division right now, the Chiefs are at minus 150 to win the division.
Boo.
Because what they're saying is if we had it at plus 100 or whatever, we would lose money because we believe that the Chiefs are going to win. Does that make sense?
Kinda,
They-
because like everyone would bet on them.
Exactly. So then the
Yeah.
casinos and the sports books will lose
Okay,
money.
yeah, I get what you're saying now. Hey, give me that Broncos bet. That's all I'm saying. No, just
So-
you keep going.
So with that being said, there are a couple bets that I think I kind of like that could pay decently well depending on how much you bet.
So you want our approval on these bets? You know, get that.
No, I don't need your approval on the bets. I'm
Oh.
just saying for those
okay.
Because
for
New
those
York
listeners who are listening, I have a couple good I think a couple good options that I like.
Okay, this is
Okay.
Matt's little insider information.
Hey, maybe,
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
wait, we can't. We can't
Well,
bet.
yeah,
Matt
it's
can.
really
We
important.
can't. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
For
So
context, Charles and I don't even live in an area that we can sports bet, so we just have to sit back and watch.
I'm all ears.
Yeah, we're all ears.
So right now the regular season MVP award by Caesar Sportbook. The leader is Patrick Mahomes at 650, Joe Burrow at 750, Josh Allen at 750, Herbert at plus 1100, Lamar at plus 22, Aaron Rodgers at plus 18. Those are just some like interesting ones. For me, I would say if Lamar stays in Baltimore, probably don't bet. But if he goes somewhere else, like let's say to a team with a wide receiver,
Good.
I would bet on him to win the MVP this year at plus 2,200.
Ooh.
It's good value. You put $10 down, you get $220 if he wins.
Wait, where was Jalen Hurts then? I didn't hear him. I was just curious.
Jalen Hurts is at plus 1,200.
We really should have, and I remember talking about like Jalen Hurts is like last year my long shot to win MVP. I know he didn't, but like imagine if you only bet like $10 last year and he did, that would be crazy. Here, yeah, do you have like a quick? I know this might be off what you were thinking. Do you have a quick long shot MVP that you can name us? Like real long, like a 7,500 you're talking about.
A quick long shot. So you want 7,500 or above?
Well, is that I would consider that like long shot for sure.
Okay, long shot for me, who I like actually.
Yeah.
Because I think it could be a bounce back year, especially with Sean Payton.
Oh,
Russell Wilson
I was actually thinking that.
5,000.
Okay. So you bet $10,
basically,
500.
$10, you get 500.
Whoa, might have to do that. Man, you might have to do that.
I have to do that. Okay.
So there's one, and I know we're running already short on time, so we'll do.
No, you do what you want. You do what you want.
Well, no, because we don't know who all is doing what, and we can kind of adjust to see. We can do this maybe later on in the year. We'll go to like the divisions. As of right now, Super Bowl winner, we'll go for that. Okay. Right now, if you place a bet right now on the Kansas City Chiefs, they are the odds-on favorite to win at plus 600. So basically, you put in $10, you get 60 if the Chiefs win, which there hasn't been a back-to-back winner since the Patriots in 03-04. So, with that being said, I might be a little homer, but currently I really like the Cincinnati Bengals at plus 1,000.
You like Cincy?
They've been Super Bowl, then AFC Championship, probably should have been back into the Super Bowl, but I like them at plus 1,000.
Just real quick, where are the Jags at on there? Just curious.
The Jags are at plus 2,500.
Yeah, I think that's a good one too, like a more of a sleeper one that has a legit chance. I like the Jags.
They have They have the 9th best odds right now.
Aren't the Lions 10th, if I remember right?
The Lions are 11th actually.
Ooh, On does have something to root for, Sam.
But if you want a long shot one that I think potentially could be nice, and if what I'm saying is maybe correct with my team that I like in the offseason, you could do Miami Dolphins for plus 3,000.
Ooh, 3,000.
3,000.
And that's the winner. But I definitely do like the NFC conference winner. That one could be kind of fun too. You had the Chiefs at plus 350, but let's say you want the Jags, it's plus 1,300 for them to be the winner, like going to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
are you officially placing any bets today, or are you waiting?
I'm not officially placing any bets today. I think I might maybe a couple days from now, maybe just to see, place it in like the long shot right now, so that way it doesn't, hike up on me. But for MVP, I think I'll probably do Joe Burrow and Lamar, just like $10 on each, probably.
Ooh.
Or maybe 20. I'll do 20 on Joe Burrow probably.
Ooh.
And then for my AFC conference winner though, I'm gonna actually no, I'm gonna do Super Bowl instead. And I'm probably gonna go Bengals.
Okay, Matt, there we go. Hey, from what I remember from last year when we talked about this stuff, kind of preseason stuff, we talked about like who we liked and awards and stuff. We were kind of on the money with sleepers last year, so maybe we can do that again this year. The only guy we weren't right about was Zach Wilson.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the divisions because we can always do that as a parlay where you choose all the winners and stuff, and that can get you a good payout. So we'll have to do something like that.
Hey, I'm down. You just tell us what the bet is, what you're thinking, and we discuss it. So,
anyways, those are MattyB's picks for this week.
Nice.
I didn't hear any Chiefs in there, Sam.
Yeah, no Chiefs.
Well, the thing is I like the Chiefs. Though. I like the Chiefs, except for you have to bet a little bit more to earn more because they are so good.
Yeah, you're not going to get as much payout unless you really go
exactly. I mean, it's a safe one though. So, like, if you're like, man, I really want $350, I bet 100 on the Chiefs to win the division. Well, actually, no, you have to bet 115 to get $100. So it's like, it's not worth it to me,
Yeah, no, I agree with Matt. It's a really safe pick.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Which isn't a bad thing. I mean, if you're a fan of the Chiefs, I mean, that's what you want, right? You want to be the safe pick. So
you want to be the safe pick, but there isn't as much like a gambling factor with them.
Yeah, I think that's why people like doing the MVP or AFC or NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year, all that kind of stuff. So more of those bets will start coming out once like the draft class has come out and everything like that. So I think it would be a fun time. We can kind of monitor it throughout. So I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what kind of makes more sports betting fun too, is all the separate categories and unique little things you can bet on. Even fun.
Sweet. Good job, Matt. I liked it.
Thank you.
Is it gonna be
I tried to
weekly?
impress.
Is this gonna be a weekly thing, or maybe like once every 2 weeks or monthly?
I think
What
probably
are we
once every
thinking?
2 weeks until maybe like the NFL starts up. Then we can kind of do like weekly bets with that.
Oh, okay.
So I think that'd be kind of fun.
Probably some NBA playoffs potentially.
Yeah,
Although
NBA playoffs for sure.
my NBA
that
knowledge
comes
is
out,
booty right now. So
once that comes out, yeah. So I think we'll do probably it's like a bi-weekly or not bi-weekly, bi-monthly. So like
Yeah.
twice a month.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my picks for now. I'll hopefully get a little bit more info. But yeah, so it's a fun time to just kind of look at the lines and see how it is, and it's a good time.
Yeah, only if you're winning though.
That is true. I mean, that is the part of gambling that's not fun. But,
yeah, that's true.
And your choice is FanDuel?
If it was me and I had to do stuff, FanDuel is pretty good.
I know that all I know is they sponsor a lot of podcasts, I'm pretty sure. So
they do.
Maybe. Just gotta keep
They
working.
probably the gambling industry makes like so much money though. It doesn't really surprise me at this point. Like with all the advertising that FanDuel does, and there's also like Bet MGM too. They do all sorts of stuff.
They do.
Just crazy how much money goes around.
All right. No notes. Tentatively, episode 2.
Tentatively.
The new era, the new season.
Is this season 3? This is season 3 then.
This is season, yeah, I guess, or just season 2, and not everything else before was just 1 season. I don't know.
Is there going to be like
we can decide.
Is there going to be a new like character arc with a new season coming then? Like, is a new like plot line or anything like that?
I mean, the plot line is roasting you, Sam.
Yeah, the script says Sam will lose every debate. That's what it says.
I don't
on
know
the
if
notes,
that's much of a plot.
Like, honestly, Sam, you're like low-key the next like Skip Bayless on our podcast.
The next Skip Bayless.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. You get a lot of attention.
I'd rather be more like the Stephen A. Smith, where
you're literally Nick Wright.
You're Nick Wright or Skip Bayless, bro. That's who
you're Nick Wright.
Okay. All right. If I'm Nick Wright, then you're Max Kellerman.
Who? Me?
Yeah, I would call you Max Kellerman.
Bro, I didn't say Brady's going off a cliff. I'm a Brady guy, so I can't be Max Kellerman.
Maybe. I don't know. He does have a lot of bold takes.
Wait, who am I then, real quick, Sam, before we end it?
I don't know. I'm
Brian Windhorst. No, just
kidding. we've named about. No, you're Booger McFarland, Charles.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, Sam.
No reason. That's just who I could think of.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll be Shannon Sharp. It's okay, boys.
Yeah. Let Matt be Shannon Sharp. I would actually be pretty proud to be someone like Shannon Sharp. He's pretty cool.
Shannon Sharp literally said Bray was going to fall off a cliff too, so that automatically disqualifies him. So sorry, Matt.
True.
Whoa! Oh my gosh! Goodness.
No, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later. We gotta go run now. We've ran over time too much.
Final thought. I would actually love to be a guy like Max Kellerman because he actually hates LeBron. He absolutely hates LeBron.
We need to have a Lebron talk soon. Yeah, oh my god, you hate LeBron?
Well,
that's funny.
I think that's a great ending of the podcast right there for sure.
Yeah, that actually it's a little cliffhanger for our viewers too. Tune in next episode. We will all just go around and roast LeBron, and we'll actually get Max Keller on air to talk about LeBron.
So, all right, see you guys.